essentials, right? When it comes to everyday essentials that men and women can wear, whether it's a pair of studs, bracelet, necklaces, and the reason why we focus on essentials is because we want our pieces to be your everyday pieces, your go-to pieces. Like, I can't live without my bracelet, I can't live without my earrings, or you know, the expression a lot of ladies say is like, I feel so naked without my diamond studs or hoops or something along those lines. Like, for gentlemen, it's like, bro, I'm not me without my chain.
A chain.
Right.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
a dog
So it's
collar
like,
right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for us, like, that's dope, right? And for us, that is everything. When something that we made or something that came out of our store holds such power, such value in your everyday wear, that's cool. That's like the ultimate homage. Like, yo, these guys made it happen. Salute to these guys.
What's your best seller?
Engagement rings, in all honesty. Engagement rings.
What's going on, guys? We are back today with another episode of Dope Talk, where the talk is always real, guys. If you've been liking what you've been seeing, what you like, man, go ahead and subscribe, like, subscribe, talk. Man, go ahead, share it, do what you got to do, man. But here, I am one of your co-hosts, Monch, and I'm here with...
Hey, it's Jayla.
Mrs. Jayla. No, but we are here today, guys, with the owners of Casamina, two very special individuals here, man, with Jonathan and Adrian, guys.
What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for having us.
Man.
Man, no problem. I appreciate you guys being here.
Absolutely.
Guys, man. So we gonna start this off like we always do, man. This is where actually we get the juicy secrets and everything to get, you know what I'm saying, to get y'all started and everything, you know? So let's go ahead and tell the public what is it that you guys actually do, guys? Anyone? Oh, wait. Don't be shy now. We was just kicking it and talking to Bobo.
We could just go off because I just heard some background noise. I'm good. We're good.
Yeah, you should be cool. You should be cool. No, you should be straight.
He's stalling.
Yeah, he's tripping. He's stalling. He is stalling.
He don't want to talk his shit. He don't want to talk his shit.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
You want to start?
Yeah. So what we do is, so we're jewelers located on. So we work in the Diamond District of Chicago. So we're located on 5 South Wabash. That is Chicago's Jewelers Row. We work in the historic building where jewelry has pretty much been manufactured for the last 40, 50 years plus. So that is where we reside. We are literally in ground zero, so on the corner of Madison and Wabash. And the name of our company is called Casamina Jewelry.
Casamina
It's a good
Jewelry.
location.
It's definitely
right there.
You guys are in the
Perfect.
jewelry building, the diamond building, basically, right? That's what they call it.
Yeah, we're right in the diamond building.
Okay,
Right?
cool. And then how long you guys been open for Casamina?
So Casamina has been open for 3 years,
3 years?
but I've been dwelling in the city for about 14. Yeah.
Okay. And then your role in the company is?
I am the owner of the company. So
Owner of the
president
company? Okay, and your role, Adrian?
Sales specialist, a diamond specialist.
Big dog of the company, okay.
Come on, man. That's what I do.
I see you, man. That's what you do.
Like
Okay.
a diamond scientist.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The diamond scientist?
You know, dabble in the sciences of the diamonds. You know, that's what we do.
Okay.
Bro.
You hey, you're the bride's dream come true, huh?
That's what they say.
When it comes to
Let's do it.
no, come on, man. Don't say they. Don't say that's what they say, bro. You're making it sound a lot worse than it is, bro.
Man, guys. Okay, so look, we really try to dive in. So, how did you guys even get into this?
So I actually got into it completely on accident.
Okay.
I was doing something completely different in life, and a high school friend of mine found me working at Finish Line, and she asked if I wanted to kind of help join their workforce.
Okay.
And she told me that they sell engagement rings and diamonds wholesale. And I was like, I don't know what that means, you know, like,
Right.
what does that have to do with shoelaces and shoe cleaners?
Right.
You
And
know?
you was young too, right?
Yeah, I just turned 21.
At that
So
point?
Yeah,
Okay.
at that point I was just
So you're still trying to
21.
figure it out.
Yeah, I was, like anybody, trying to kind of like get their life in order and
Navigate.
see, what happens. And I had gone down for an interview, got hired on the spot.
Okay.
And literally I was like, damn, I don't know what I'm doing here, And I worked for that first week. I was basically the errand boy. So, the owner.
What,
would
at the
tell
jewelry
me-
store?
Yeah, at the jewelry store where I started working.
Where was this at?
Same building. So same building. On
Oh,
the
the
second
same
floor.
building. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's how you got introduced to the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a young lady had brought me in, introduced me to her boss. We interviewed, and they were like, "Hey, you have a great personality. You seem coachable.
Okay.
Right. So let's try to teach you how to maneuver around this industry
Right.
to help us with sales. And on the 7th day, so basically, that's what I was saying. I was like their errand boy. They would tell me their coffee orders. I would have to go every morning, pick it up, come back, and pick up, drop off. And that was my job for like the
Giving
first 5 days.
assistant.
Yeah,
That's what's up, though. You started from the bottom.
that was it.
Started
Yeah,
from the bottom.
It
Okay.
was there was times in that first week where they would tell me, "Hey, go to this floor, pick this up, tell them you work here," and the building is so like heavily guarded, and every company has a buzzer, and there's a speaker on the buzzer. So I would buzz them, and I'm thinking they're gonna open the door. And they would just be like, "What do you want?
Like,
who are
who are
you?"
you?
Yeah, like, where did you come from?
What are you doing here, buddy?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I work for so and so," and they're like, "Oh, okay, come on in." And it was just like everything signing off on things. So it's like they would tell me, "If you lose this,
You pay for it.
you pay for it."
Right.
And I was like, "Damn, man, like this is kind of a scary job,
Right.
Like, I don't have this money, you
Yeah.
know." And on the 7th day of me working, a client had flew in from Mexico, only spoke Spanish. No one else spoke Spanish on the team.
Your time to shine.
Yeah, and they were like, "Hey, we know you know nothing about diamonds, but we're gonna sit you with him and just hit the SAP button, like just translate."
Wow.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, "Oh,
Your
okay."
time to shine, baby.
So I'm trying. At this point, I didn't know how to say carrot in Spanish, right? So
How do you say carrot?
Literally.
quilate.
Quilate, right?
Quilate,
It is.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah, it's
quilate.
quilate, yeah.
You pulled out the vegetable.
Ooh. Carrot.
Carote. And I was trying my best. So I had my boss sitting next to me, and she was explaining to me like this diamond terminology that I'm like, I don't know how to say that.
How to explain this shit?
And the guy's looking at me like, dude, this poor kid's fucking trying. And basically he told me in Spanish, like, hey, I just want the best deal. Like, how can you make this happen?
Right.
For me to leave.
He made it easier for
Yeah,
you.
because he's like, I have 2 days, and I flew here just to be with this company.
Right.
And I told my boss, I was like, hey, he offered X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, can we do it? And she said, counter with this. So I learned kind of like the negotiating
tactics.
because I was just kind of like, man, what the hell's happening right now?
Right.
Right.
It was like a ping pong, right? Like
Right.
him, her, him, her,
her.
him, her. And I'm just
Okay.
kind of in the middle, like
yeah,
no,
you
eso
try-
no se puede.
You trying to referee it. You trying to
Yeah.
referee it like
Yeah.
that. No,
You
no,
know?
mira, mira.
and above the waist, above the belt. And he ended up agreeing on a price, and they looked at me like, holy shit, like this guy just discovered fire. Like, we're gonna send you to school, and you're gonna learn everything there is to know
Wow.
about
So they
diamonds.
invested in you.
Yeah, heavily.
That's what's up.
And I would say that me and 3 other people, like the people that I started with, we easily generated over $1 million in sales for that company in the first year as
In the year?
rookies. Yeah, yeah. And
That's
then
what's
we
up.
were there for 2.5 years. So the second year it doubled. It was
Okay.
wild.
So it's safe to say you that kind of gave you the
Yeah, it gave me
The drive.
the push,
Yeah.
like where I could do this.
Yeah, but the eye-opening experience was, I'm being coached by these people. They're telling me what to say. They're telling me how much to mark it up. So it's like we were learning like the industry ass backwards, and like we learned what you're not supposed to learn at a very, very young age. So when I kind of like the light bulb went off for me when I was like, damn, like how this is great because these people are making money. We're kind of getting like the scraps because we weren't getting paid commission or anything like that.
So they're still paying you hourly.
Dude, it was like $7, $10.
You're closing a $50,000 dealer.
Yeah.
yeah, $15 an hour, buddy.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's how it was. That's how it was. And it took a little while to realize because you don't know, right? You're being adopted into this industry that really wasn't meant
Right, of
for
course.
you, and you don't want to do anything to step on anyone's toes
Right.
or look at people the wrong way. And it's like you just want to be respectful the whole way.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the same time, though, like I just feel like that's like paying your dues. Like
Yeah.
in every game, you got to pay your dues. Period.
you know?
Point blank. You got to pay your dues.
And it was
you got to work for scraps sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was one of those things where we all kind of had like an eye-opening experience because it wasn't, none of our friends at 21 were getting married.
Right.
It took one client that was like, "Hey, I want to pop the question. Like, how can you help me?" And I was like, "Well, how can I help you?
Right.
Like, how do I
That
do this?"
light bulb hit.
And I tried to do things, the way I was taught, and I was like, "Damn, man, like."
It wasn't working. Or what?
When you're 21, 22, you don't have that much money.
Right.
$6,000 seems
Right.
almost like
a lot.
unattainable.
Right. For that at that point.
And it was like one of those things. I'm like, damn, if I can give them a little bit of a nice discount while I make some money, like we might have something here. And I kind of let the two other people that I was working with know, like, hey, you know, you guys have my back on this. And they were like, yeah, fucking go for it.
Do it. Right.
Yeah, why not?
And that was while you were still working for that company, right?
I was still working for that company, yeah.
But you was kind of like brokering your own deal.
Yeah. So,
okay.
yeah, that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You know,
That's what's
dabbled
up.
in the forbidden fruit.
That's what's up, man. That's it. Sometimes you got to dip in to
Yeah.
get where you got to go to, right?
Yeah, you know, and it was like one of those things where you kind of start to rebel against the system because you're being treated unfairly. Right? You're being treated unfairly. You see how much is happening. You know, they handled business a certain way, and they just weren't willing to share.
Like you said, you actually start uncovering the numbers that are actually back there. So you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah, and I was
so
like,
you,
bro, this is my homie. You know,
like, you know, hey, I was trying to make $10,000 off a deal. You know what I'm saying?
So that's kind of how I got started.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about you, Mr. Adrian? See, I don't want to call you what they was calling you earlier. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your
We'll just
suave
stick-
poppy
stick
name.
to-
You know
we'll
what I'm
just stick
saying?
to Adrian, bro. Man, for me, it was kind of just on a whim, bro. It was, you know, peak COVID.
Okay.
And I mean, I knew of, you know, Jonathan's previous company, Wolf of Madison.
Okay.
Just because we know a lot of people, you know, just from just around, right? Like I know some of his cousins. He knows, you know, plenty of my friends and family too. And I had knew of his company, and I was just like, you know, after taking a deep dive on YouTube of like how they handcraft, you know, rings or Cubans or just anything like that, it just really caught my attention. So I just shot him a DM and, yo, is your company hiring?
Took the chance.
Yeah, bro. I
took
mean,
the chance.
he was just pretty transparent. He was like, you know, at the moment we're not, but you know, if you want to come in for an interview and we'll see how it goes. And I went and I mean, I sat down with him and his business partner at the time, and I think the interview was maybe like 20 minutes, bro. I showed up in a suit, like because that's I mean, 'cause
you came prepared,
bro,
okay.
I was the you know.
You was in corporate America.
Yeah, bro.
So
It's
you
like
was used to that.
I was
right,
used to
right.
like, all right, I got to wear a suit because that's any other interview that I had been on, you have to dress.
Right, my
you know,
dad
you
used to
gotta
tell me
dress
that
up
all
for
the
it.
time.
Bro, he for like the week that after I was hired, hey, bro, remember when you showed up in a suit? I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
He's still clowning you for that,
bro.
man.
I was like, come on, dude. But I think after I left, like maybe 30, 40 minutes, he hit me on Instagram and he was like, hey, bro, you know, you start on Monday. So it was
Oh,
just,
that's what's up.
It was energy, bro.
what's up.
Honestly, it was energy because I
Bro, it
had
was the
told
suit
him.
and the Stacey Adams, bro. It was the
Oh,
suit.
low key, I think they were
The suit.
Stacey Adams, bro. I think they were Stacey Adams, low key. No, but it was just,
the Stacey
bro. It
Adams.
was a vibe, bro. It was just vibes, and I mean, me and John clicked, you know, right off the bat, and it was cool, bro.
It was good. Okay, cool. And then so my thing is like, how long you been in the game already now?
So since 2021.
So you came right out of COVID.
Yeah, pretty much, bro.
So basically, COVID made you take that chance.
I mean, it really did. Obviously, I wasn't working because everything was still,
Right.
you know, shut down. And even when I did go back to my 9 to 5, I was kind of just like, you know, I was still so fixated on working at a jewelry store.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm doing this. This is what I want to do.
And let me see. You are with that decision you make. You are content. Like you know what I'm saying?
It's
Right.
It's beyond being content.
And that's all that matters sometimes, dude. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters because even the, like, you know, just for the viewers, like sometimes you just, if you're doing what you really love and you know what I'm saying, sometimes the payout, you know, it'll get there, you know what I'm saying, sooner or later down the line, you know, because I know when you started, money really wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, because with anything that you
Right.
start, you know, money ain't
Right.
really that. But you know what I'm saying? Just,
Honestly, though, bro, I got kind of lucky, and I think, you know, one thing that I could definitely say about anybody trying to break into the jewelry industry is, again, I got lucky, bro, because Jonathan, like, he kind of did all the legwork to be able to provide a workspace to where it's like,
To
you
put
know
you in
what?
front of people
Yeah,
already.
you don't have to struggle the way I struggled.
Right.
Now, me in present day, like, I got a fucking beautiful ass commission rate. My shit is lovely.
Okay,
So
let's do it.
If I'm selling a piece of jewelry, this guy right here is he's like, you know what, cool, you know,
Right.
I'm gonna get you set. Now again, that's not like that for everybody.
Right, for
there
everybody.
have been people that have came on board to where they're, you know, they'll sell a piece and it's, you know,
Just a couple dollars,
just
yeah.
like John had said, you know, kind of before we even started in the casual conversation, you know, that loyalty aspect of it. It's
Right.
like I get what I get because
where you been at?
I've been with this guy through a lot of shit
Obviously,
already,
yep.
you know?
Because
So
that-
it's like,
Especially
that's
like in-
that's
in
one thing
big.
that people got to kind of keep in mind. It's like, it's not glitz, glamour, and all this.
Right.
Granted, I did my share of hustling too, and I still am, you know?
right.
But I got lucky, bro.
But do you get where you got like, and we did talk about this before this, but like to get where you got, especially you had to go through some rains. You had to go through some, and that's where the loyalty.
Yeah, I had to grab coffees and shit like that too. So don't lie.
Let
Let
me get a caramel macchiato, buddy.
Yeah, bro,
Let me
this
get
guy.
caramel.
This guy, man.
Hey, he ain't trying to take it on camera. You know he sent you for a latte.
Bro, I know he did. Hey, put your suit on and go get me a fucking coffee. I'm like, hey,
Don't forget the Stacey Adams.
I was Dr. Eggman from Sonic.
pretty much, bro.
If you have children, yeah,
Did you make him go get a cheesecake? You petty.
No, Diddy.
No Diddy.
Hey,
No
chill.
Diddy. Chill.
So from that point on, where you got a job with his company at the time, when did the transition happen for Casamina Jewelry? Like when did you both transition into your storefront in that building?
That's a great question.
I mean, I got your question, but let's go back. Don't confuse him. Okay, so how did you even get to Casamina, basically?
So I had Wolf of Madison.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the transition from Wolf of Madison to Casamina Jewelry came in 2021. So Wolf of Madison had already been around for 5 years. 2021 was the 6th year. And I think that the most challenging time being an entrepreneur was surviving the pandemic. Right, because it's like in a time and place where the world shuts down,
Right.
like completely shuts down, and you work in an industry that is luxurious or that is considered a luxury. The last thing people were thinking about was buying any sort of jewelry, right? Hand sanitizer, toilet paper, and water was like the economic relief of the world, pretty much. And you know, the business
Until the
had.
checks came out.
Well, yeah, until
Not until the
stimmies
checks came out. The checks came out.
So-
People was losing their
Yeah,
mind.
leading up to the stimmies, right? We were like, it was January when they kind of announced like, hey, you know, we're gonna shut down for 2 weeks, right? And I was like, oh, damn, we got a 2-week vacation that no one anticipated, right? Then that turned into a month. Then
And that was you were still at Wolf, right?
yeah, we still had Wolf, and you know, then it got shut down for like a long time. Like it was like 2 months, 3 months, and then we're like, damn, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
And then you know, people were getting laid off. Like you had to become an essential
was
worker.
scary.
Yeah, it was a scary
scary.
time. And you know, I was like, damn, no one is hitting me up. Like this thing
For no jewelry, no
yeah,
nothing.
Dry.
there's no way this is like dead in the water. Like there's no way what we built and what we have fought for is just gonna come to an end like this. So one of my relatives had called me and they're like, hey, we know you work with gold, but by any chance, can you make a silver pendant for your cousin that's a nurse? And I was like, what do you want it to say? It's got to be a stethoscope with her name on it. We saw it on Etsy. And I was like, okay.
You could do it.
I was like,
happen.
let me see if the team's back to work.
Right.
I made a phone call. I was like, hey, you know, I would never ask you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I was like, but by any chance, are you back in the lab? And he was like, yeah, I want to get back to work. And I was like, oh, well, I have an order. And he was like, what is it? I'm like, it's a silver pendant. He's like, dude, I'll do it.
Immediately,
I'll
let's
do
go
it.
right
Yeah.
now.
And I was like, all right, cool. I sent him the order. I went downtown, and this was like, the building downtown was a ghost town. Like you can get from like where I live, like the Midway area, to downtown Chicago, like where the Bean is, in like 15 minutes.
I'm not gonna lie, those are good old days for traffic.
Man,
those were good old
that
days
was
for
awesome.
traffic, buddy.
So we did that one. We posted it, and then a lot of people started coming forward. Like, hey, we saw you made this pendant. How much was it? It was $149, right?
Okay, that's a nice
Affordable,
price.
yeah.
It was like, yo, okay, cool. We have a doctor and another nurse in our family. We want to make this pendant. I'm like, okay, cool. Started taking notes, started taking orders. My guy, like, yo, I got 2 more. Then that started kind of snowballing into a larger thing. We started providing to doctors, nurses. People started asking, hey, can you do a shield for this fireman? Yeah, we absolutely can. Boom. Started tapping into that network. Then stimmies started hitting.
Hey.
And people you
Now
know,
the
had-
ballers.
yeah.
Now the ballers are coming.
So people started hitting me up. They're like, hey, you know, I got like $1,000. What can I buy? I just kind of want to flex around the house or like flex when I go to Target.
Flex around the house.
And I was like, what do you
Bro,
want?
sometimes you need to flex around the house,
You
bro.
know,
You need to let
started-
you need to let your girl know what
Yeah.
it is.
And it started like that, bro. And then, we survived the pandemic. The year 2020, we had like our biggest financial growth year.
Okay.
We upgraded stores, moved into our new location.
And that was still while you were
Wolf.
Wolf. Okay.
Yeah, and then Casamina started as an idea to create a subline under our main branch to create pieces of jewelry for women.
Okay.
And it
So like a
started-
woman line
Yeah, it was a women's line, and it started with those pendants, right? Because it was like
right.
with the
how do we-
doctor
yeah,
the doctor
like,
friend.
we wanted to create pieces that were dainty and everyday wearable,
Mm-hmm.
but were also easily accessible.
Okay.
Right, because people knew Wolf of Madison was expensive. So
Right.
the one detail that Adrian left out was he didn't want to come shop at Wolf because he thought it was too
Man,
expensive.
bro.
It was that bad, though.
Well,
I don't think it was bad, but he thought it was bad.
well, yeah, because you're seeing the back
I'm
end
with you,
price,
Adrian, bro. I'm a cheap ass nigga. I'm with
You know, it's not even about being cheap, bro. Because obviously at the time, of course, I had
It is
my
about being
stimmy too.
cheap.
Because I'm coming from getting laid off of a regular ass day job like
Yeah.
Right.
that I had. So I was getting
No,
those
of course.
stimulus checks too.
Right, but you're
even-
holding on to that money at least
Right.
at that time, right? Hey, we
I was
drag it.
throwing that shit everywhere. And anyway, but I had told him because, bro, he gives me shit all the time, right? Oh, you didn't come to me for your pendant, the pendant that I'm wearing. Yo, you
For
went,
real?
Yeah.
I didn't get to make that pendant.
Oh man, why, y'all done left that out every time I done talked to
Bro,
him.
he
Y'all
get-
done left that
but
out.
that's the thing. He gives me shit about it all the time. Oh, you
I
already
would
knew
too,
who I
though.
was.
I would too.
I
Shit,
get it.
I
I
would
get it.
too.
I get it.
I
I
would
get it.
too.
Because I went to competition for it. But this is my guy though.
This is about to turn into a different podcast, dog.
This is my guy though, bro. But I mean, yeah, like I had told him when I was shopping, around for a jeweler who's gonna make my pendant, I had went to the Wolf of Madison page. Now, bro, if I'm looking for a small pendant, right? Everything on the page was big ass engagement rings, tennis chains, tennis bracelets. It all looked crazy expensive.
Super expensive,
Right. And even with them stimulus checks,
So it
I was
wasn't.
like, I'm
it
not-
wasn't marketing to an everyday person like us.
Right. To like, no, I just need a small
Right,
pendant,
right.
small chain. It wasn't not that it wasn't appealing because I was like, man, I wish I could get that.
Right.
But it wasn't practical, right? Even with the money that we
Right,
were
that was
getting for
coming.
the stimulus checks, bro. So
Right. Because at least you knew that wasn't going to last forever.
right.
You're a responsible adult,
Hey,
buddy.
I tried, bro. I tried.
Yeah, because during his interview, I was like, "Have you ever heard of the company?" He was like, "Yeah, I know your cousin." And I was like, "Oh,
You guys charge a lot, buddy.
I was like, oh, so you knew of the company?" I was like, "Are you married?"
Yeah,
He
bro.
was like,
hey,
yeah.
Hey, I'm interviewing to get a discount, buddy.
So why do you think I'm here, bro? What the hell? Not because I love it.
discount, bro. Do you guys offer 40 or 30%?
Hey, my
See,
discount's a
employee
little more than that too. So.
Ooh, bro. Hey, look, bro. Can I get a top now?
You can.
Yeah, we
Okay,
got you,
cool.
we got you,
you
we got
can.
you.
You
Hey,
definitely
I can be your
can.
marketing.
You family, bro.
I
You
can
locked
market.
in.
I
We
can
got
market.
you.
I
You
can
locked
market.
in, man.
I can
I
market.
just need a case of empanadas.
Let's do it. Let's put them together, man. Let's do it. We got
Hold
you,
on.
man.
Steak or chicken?
Steak or chicken?
steak.
No, it's beef. Beef or
beef.
chicken.
He don't even know the
Steak.
product.
Yeah, he don't
It's
know. He
steak.
don't know. He don't know. He don't know.
It's ground beef. I need the ground beef.
The beef is
Ground beef.
That's my
Cheesy,
shit.
cheesy ground beef.
Eee,
like the
cheesy.
chicken. I like the chicken.
That's fire.
Chicken is fire.
The chicken is fine,
what
but
you
I'm
like?
with you though. I like the beef. My
What about
per-
you? What do you think? Which one you like
I
better?
fuck with the beef.
the beef, dog. The beef.
You're on the
I
island
ain't
of your
gonna lie,
own,
the beef
bro.
in the
Island of your own
The beef in the
right
bar. Okay. So you had you guys had the freaking how do you turn the wolf of, because it was Wolf of Wall Street? That was
Wolf of
your
Madison.
Wolf of Madison. My bad. Damn. My bad. Excuse me.
That's yeah.
Hey, so you had a bunch of guys talking about, yeah, it was dude. You had a bunch of.
It was crazy. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, we had.
What was that location at? In the same building?
Same building on the 7th floor. It was on the actually the first location was on the 5th floor, and it was smaller. It was about the size of a recording booth. Like if you're.
No, what
making
y'all
it-
got today is nice. Like,
Yeah, but it wasn't always that nice.
no, man. But I mean, you guys, I ain't gonna stand for y'all viewers. Look, man, go and check them out. What's the address?
5 South Wabash.
5 South Wabash. These exclusive joint, dog. You gonna feel like a boss when you get up in there, man. I can tell you
It's
all
a
the
nice-
time.
it's a nice
Every
vibe.
time I get
It's a
in,
nice
there.
vibe.
And if you like tequila, they got it too in there.
We got
They
tequila in this
definitely
car,
got some
that's right.
tequila in there,
Yeah.
dude.
Low key
Yeah.
though, bro. The 7th floor suite, that was a vibe.
So yeah,
Vibe.
we constantly talk about and we debate on which suite is better, suite 700 or suite 300.
And that was the old one for what? Casamino or for the
it
Wolf?
was the last version of Wolf of Madison.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was your.
But it was such a cool time. So you got to imagine, like, during 2020, you know, the sneaker game was still hype. Virgil Abloh was still at an all-time high.
Okay.
And we wanted to implement a lot of our Latin heritage into a jewelry store.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you do it without coming off as like a classic joyeria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have like these classic jewelry stores scattered throughout the Chicagoland area.
Right.
And we're like, well, we don't fit that demographic because we've been brought into the game through the diamond side,
Right.
through a more like
High-end,
elevated,
yeah.
you know, side.
Right.
And it was one of those things where, okay, well, we're not Jewish, we're not Indian, and we're not Asian. And people would come in and be like, who's the owner? I'm like,
Yo, someone was bougie.
yeah, you know, and so we were like, okay, how do we make Wolf of Madison like tie into our Latin heritage? So we started implementing like Talavera patterns. I don't know if you guys are
Talavera
familiar.
pattern, what is it?
So it's like that mosaic pattern that you see like in a lot of
Like the
Mexican
Aztec
homes.
pattern almost?
Not like that. It's like very like imagine the Clase Azul bottle.
Okay.
Okay, you know how it's white and blue?
Yeah.
And it's got like swirls.
The little-
and filigree.
the
exactly.
graphic?
So, yeah,
Okay.
so they smell like small, almost like backsplash.
Okay.
That people in Mexico put against their walls or they put it on the floors.
Okay.
So we started implementing a lot of those elements. We started
Into the jewelry?
into the jewelry store, into the space.
Oh, into the background
the
of the
theme of
scenery,
this.
basically. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we went with like neutral tans. We started like really looking at it from like a designer perspective, and we're like,
Okay.
if Virgil Abloh tapped into jewelry, what would his jewelry store look like?
Nice.
And we had, you know, the giant keep off, you know, off-white rug, like dead
Okay.
center. You looked at it, you didn't know if it was a museum or if it was a jewelry
Because you
store.
and you were bringing like the Latino urban.
And
to
then
it.
we,
Okay.
you know, in Mexico we have a barn, and we brought in barn door elements. We started bringing in like raw wooden elements into the store itself. So like very similar to the vibe of Solazo.
Okay.
So it's very, very similar. So you walk in and you can kind of make the correlation, like how are these two people related?
Related, right?
And people were like, bro, this was so dope. This was
Right.
so cool. And we had a corner suite, so you can see the L, you can see the bean. It was a nice view. So he came in at
So
like
he liked that one.
Yeah,
he liked
yeah,
that
yeah.
joint.
Bro,
Yeah,
He
man.
liked that joint.
vibe, I'm telling
versus
you.
like
He was doing a lot of Snapchats out of there.
yeah, he did.
I hate the space now. No.
Shut up. No, you don't.
You catch the train, dog.
Yeah, no,
You
yeah,
catch the
it's,
train.
it's beautiful,
You catch the
especially,
train
bro.
off the
Especially if
view.
you're standing in that big window recording,
Yeah.
and the train happens
That
to pass
train-
by.
yeah, it's nice.
It is
It's a nice vibe.
Nice.
But
Perfect
you
touch
know,
to the video.
you did something right when people like from the building would come and just be like, "Hey, we don't need anything from you. We just want to look at your space."
Yep.
And I
Okay.
was like,
You put it
okay.
together.
And then there was one guy in particular I never forget. I think he was there. He was like, "Hey, I just want to come in and take a look at your space." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like, come on in. You know, like
Right.
back offices are behind the barn doors." And he was just, and then a contractor came in. He's like, "Yeah, I want my walls like this. I want the color palette."
Oh,
like
so he
this."
was coming in there to bite
Yeah,
y'all.
and I was
Like,
like,
yeah, I
man.
want all of this like
Like,
this.
what the hell?
Exactly.
Yeah, and literally,
I want this in the third floor.
we seen some similar elements like scattered throughout the building.
So you try setting. It's
We
cool.
influence.
It's cool. It's
I
cool,
would-
man.
I'd
It's
definitely
cool.
say,
It's okay. You can't be mad at
your
people
shit,
biting
yeah.
it because you know what I'm saying.
Talk
Talk your shit, big dog.
Because even our first location, it was small, but it was very intimate, and we added again like that organic feeling. So we added like a full wooden panel wall to the store, and it was the only office that had can lights in the suite, and it was a vibe. It's still a vibe. The guy that's in there now is like tremendously lucky.
So you guys left it like that for him?
We've had to leave every store better than what we found it.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I'm taking
Because
everything.
we don't own it. Right?
Man, I'm taking everything off the wall, bro. It's over.
Yeah.
I mean, I put this here. I'm taking it. It's over. It's mine.
So the
It's
new
mine.
store was already built, right?
Okay.
But the dimensions was
The one that you guys are at right now?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It was one of those things where it's like I had seen it being built, and I was like, damn, whoever's getting this space is gonna have an amazing space. And it still is one of the
Oh, it's
best
a nice
looking
space.
space in the entire building. Keep in mind, Mr. Jayla, there is 21 floors full of jewelers in our building, right? What do you do to stand out? By the grace of God, we've been in business for a long time now, and we've done tremendously well.
Okay.
And I think it has a lot to do with our personality, our style, and what our the passion for the game. You know,
Absolutely.
it's been a
You guys got that
amazing
front
ride.
office, man. That front
Yeah.
office is nice.
It's nice, man.
That's nice, and
It's nice.
and let alone
It
the
is.
flat basketball thing you guys have.
Oh,
I don't even
man.
know what that's called, but that's dope.
The art
flat
installation?
basketball,
with the
the
wall.
whole- that's dope.
Yeah. So last year, in the last 2-3 years, we have been traveling to New York a lot for business, right? So we got to see the early stages of like what jewelry TikTok is now. And you know, kind of like dabbling in the New York Diamond District, we got to see what that like concrete jungle actually looks like and feels like in real time, and navigating New York and taking its elements for what it is. And it's like we love the culture out there.
Yeah.
We love how people are just kind of blended in together. Like there's segregation, but it's a giant melting pot, right? And we were just kind of like, bro, we love that. I love that. I was like, how do we make that Chicago?
You brought that
Right.
straight to the shot.
Yeah, because
okay.
Chicago is very like, you know, Latinos hang out with Latinos, güeros hang out with güeros, and it's very separated, right? And unless you're just kind of like one of those people who walks amongst the tribes,
Right.
But even that, it's like you're always looked at a little bit different.
Right. Everybody got their own.
Especially if you're trying to dabble into the diamond industry because it's so exclusive.
Right.
You know.
It is.
And it's right. And it's definitely like its own lane.
It is.
Because honestly, like, I mean, especially like Latinos, I just remember coming up and it was like a joyero used to come pull up to the house with a briefcase. You remember that?
Man, those were
You know what I'm
golden
saying?
days.
They used to pull
Hey,
up. That was joyeria to me.
There's
Like, you know
still
what I'm
some around.
saying? And they still do.
Hey, and we get some ladies that come in and be like, "Oh, do you guys do joyas?" And we're like, "We can."
And that was a joyero to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I used to come to the house with a briefcase full of gold and be like, hey, you want to buy a chain and all that stuff. And, you know, so we were used to that. And then even after that, you're used to, you know, pulling up to a whole jewelry store and they got all their different stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like I told you guys, even when I first met you guys, like, your jewelry store is different. Like that, it's different. It's different, and it's like just implementing what you guys got going on with it is amazing. Honestly, like that, and that's the reason why. Honestly, like you know what I'm saying. Just I wanted you in here because it's just like man, it was just you guys are different as far as like that, and we got a piece coming, so y'all will figure that out. y'all will figure that out in a minute. You know what I'm saying? These boys cold with it.
I always tell people, you know, trust the process.
Yeah, these
You
boys
know?
cold with it. You know what I'm saying?
We do a lot of engagement rings and we do a lot of wedding bands. And the reason why we enjoy doing those things, it's not because we don't enjoy doing pendants. It's not because we don't enjoy doing luxury watches. It's because when you do something as intimate as an engagement ring, your jeweler, if you don't remember their first name, they didn't do a great job. Because that
Right,
person
right.
is part of your life.
Because now you want to introduce them
Forever.
to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean? It's a pinnacle moment in our clients' lives. And it's
Yep.
also special because you get to share that moment with your client.
Right.
And it's like, you know, you can ask anybody who's gone to like a big box retailer, like, hey, do you remember your sales associate's name? Or if you ask anyone who knows about Casamina or Wolf Madison, like, hey, do you remember who you worked with? Well, I worked with either John, Adrian, or this
Adrian
person.
or somebody. You know what I'm saying?
You know? Novella Papi over here.
Novella Bobby. See, I wasn't gonna call you that. I wasn't gonna call you that, but since it's out there,
can't
it's
stand
out
this
there.
guy, bro.
That's Novella, bro. It fits you. It fits you.
Does it?
It
How does
does,
it fit?
bro. It
Because
does.
okay.
You got a nice cut, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, ladies, he's taking, so don't play that. Don't play that. He's taking.
You're trying to set me up. You're trying to set me up for failure. No, that's crazy.
No, but man, it's look, but check this out, bro. Right now, we gotta pay some bills
Yep. It's
real
about
quick.
that
So look, it's about
time.
that time. We gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back, big guys.
What's going on, everybody? Adrian from Casamina. If anybody in the Chicagoland area or even outside of it needs anything jewelry related, engagement rings, wedding bands, gold items in general, anything gold and diamonds, stop by the office, 5 South Wabash, Suite 300. We got you covered. We're going to get you right.
I'm Mike down, hold Mike down, hold Mike down. Johnson, I'ma stay putting it down to the end. Ripping pins, trying to put a brand new beat.
Hey, we're back. Yo, we're back here with
We is
Adrian,
back.
Jonathan from Casamina Jewelry.
do
Oh, yeah.
Adrian, I have a question for you.
What's going on? What's your question?
I got you guys. Ooh. I'll put it.
What was your most memorable customer experience?
Caliente.
Every one of them. Every one of them. No.
The hot seat, my friend.
You know what? I think my first memorable one was probably the first engagement ring that I sold. And it was just, a solitaire, no halo, no hidden halo, no diamonds on the band, nothing. And it was actually a really good friend of mine. And I think this was maybe a year after I had started, something around there. And he hit me up and, he needed an engagement ring. And I think that's one of those things where it kind of makes, you know, the headaches of dealing with, you know, people you might not want to deal with, or you know, whatever it is, it makes it worth it. It's like when it's sales like that, where you could help out a friend, family member, especially with something like an engagement ring. That's definitely one of the most memorable sales that I've had, for sure.
On your website, I did see on your menu bar there was a part of like customer experiences. I didn't see a whole lot, but I do see it on your Instagram page. The customer stories, you know, when they purchase jewelry, is that valuable to your business as well? Like, does it help increase sales? You know, seeing that you guys offer a real connection to your customers.
Absolutely, it's detrimental. It's one of those things where our website is like currently in development, right? So we're constantly changing things, trying to make it a little bit more relevant and up to speed, right? Because so much happens within our business on a day-to-day, where sometimes, you know, guests like to share their engagement photos with us, and then, you know, we're part of that memorable moment in their life, but they also like to keep it private and exclusive. So we're also trying to figure out how to like navigate that world where it's like, hey, let's get them to share their story so that we can use it as like a platform for other guests to see and be like, hey, you know what, we want to join this family and we want to be part of this, like, you know, group or this part of the store. So yeah.
It's like a good marketing strategy.
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think it kind of plays into what helps us a lot, which is referrals. You know, we rely heavily on referrals, right? So word of mouth, just, oh, you know, hey, this is where I got my ring from. So getting those, I guess, reviews or what is it? Testimonies, right? I think that's the word for it. Like getting those client testimonials, that plays a major part.
And encourages a little bit, right?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I ain't even mean to throw y'all out the subject, but look at this joint, dog. This man got the Richard Millie, dog. Here, let me give it back to you, because I don't even want to be part of it, man. That's the Richard Millie, doggy.
That's the thing right there.
How much that thing cost?
It's all right.
This one in specific is $1.6 million.
1.6, because I see the face on it is way different. Is that like custom?
No, so it's a limited edition piece. There's 50 of them in the world. It's a RM5201.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's only 50 of them in the world. Each one of these pieces is numbered. So to have one, it either belongs to a really specific client or, you know, you have to have a good relationship with the company
Richard Millie itself.
Yeah, we're just, you know, holding it for one of our clients, and he was kind enough to let me wear it on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay, stop.
Shout out to him.
I think he lying, though. I think it is. No. It's a nice piece, though. So is that something that you guys do also, like consignment?
We do consignment. We do offer luxury watches, but, you know, I think the height of the market when it comes to watches was definitely during 2020 and 2023 because the watch market has came down drastically.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, like, there was a point in time where, like, if you walked into, like, a Rolex boutique and you wanted to buy maybe, like, a Submariner or a Datejust, there was, like, a 5-year waiting list. You would have to put your name down on the list before they would even call you to
even get you one.
Yeah, to get you one. Or you had to have like a high client profile. Like you'd have to spend X amount of dollars for them to give you a call. Just be like, hey, we have your watch ready for pickup. So we started dabbling in watches heavily in 2021. Yeah.
Okay, and then was that lucrative for you guys or no?
It was in the beginning, yeah, because it was one of those things where like if you're familiar with sneakers and the resale market, it was very
basically
easy.
The same thing.
Yeah, it was easy to integrate into watches. It was just a higher price point, right? So a lot of vendors, a lot of dealers didn't understand what was going on. And, you know, and I think that's the nice thing is because our generation, my generation specifically, and the small group of individuals that I came up with, we know the culture that existed before the culture that exists now. So it's one of those things where, like, we grew up in that hype era. We grew up in the resale era where things of limited edition held tremendous value. You can always resell. And a lot of people coming up now or people that have been in the industry for a long time don't understand that market. They're like, we don't understand why there's such a high value behind some of these pieces. Okay. And it has a lot to do with, like, economical resources. Like, crypto was a big thing. A lot of people were, like, crypto rich right? So pieces like this, only people that were crypto millionaires would buy.
Was buying those.
Yeah, and that's when Richard Mille like really
Skyrocketed.
Really, yeah, it was crazy. Like if you own a Richard Mille, you were like on top of the world.
Right.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, it still
you're
is
saying
wild.
well, that's what I'm saying, because it's still a Richard Mille. Still a Richard Mille.
Yeah, it's still, and I've always said it. Richard Mille is like G-Shock to the rich, right? That's how they perceive
That's
it.
perfect.
Yeah, it's the G-Shock of the rich.
It actually can be nice. I've never really looked at it that way.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Different
Man,
playing
so
field.
no, but yeah, Richard really. I've never really seen it that way, but that's kind of dope. Well, yeah, he just says that casually with his go-yard wallet.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? You see that? You see that? Like we ain't just
Yo,
beeping the
this guy-
game with it.
This guy
You know
has
what I'm
the
saying? You
most
see it?
subtle flexes ever, but I swear to God, they're there,
but
bro.
he calls you Novella Papi though. What we gonna call him?
That's not-
Here we go again.
hey, he's got a $1.6 million watch on. You know what I'm saying? He got his go-yard. He's sipping his dope drink there.
Shout out to the boys though.
You know it. Hey, dog. But you guys were on Fashion Week, wasn't y'all?
Yeah, bro, that shit was
What was that, last
no
year?
pun intended. Dope. That shit was dope. As
Dope.
hell. That shit
Sure
was
is
fun,
that.
man. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Hey, what was that, last year?
Yeah, it was last year, early February, right? Yeah.
20,
No, it was last
24.
year. Yeah. Last year, early February. So like the beginning of February.
So how were you incorporating your jewelry brand at Fashion Week? Where was it, in New York?
Yeah, so it was New York, and we actually had pieces on the runway. So
You guys had models with
On
pieces?
the, on the models.
Yeah. So one
Wow.
of the designers.
Slight flex. I see you.
Hey,
Slight
let me
flex.
talk my shit.
Slight flex. I see you. Talk your shit, big dog.
One of the
Talk your shit.
One of the designers, yeah, I mean, he kind of just reached out, and that was a collaborative work of art there, and we flew out to New York. He needed some pieces for all of his models, so we provided the jewelry for, I don't know, maybe like 20 models, maybe
there was
something
a
like
lot.
that. It was a lot of pieces.
there was
a lot of pieces.
Okay.
That's why I had said that jewelry bag. It's seen some states because we took
gotta
that
put that
to
joint
New
up.
York. We were walking just around New York. I had that shit in my backpack. We were just we were out there. It was fun though. It was a good time. It was definitely a different side of things because now
Okay.
other than the accessories that you see in front of us, or diamond rings, chains, stuff like that, now it also served another purpose, right? Because it was a small accent to a look that's being presented to Fashion Week.
Literally.
It was cool.
Exactly.
It was
And then that brings me to basically the next statement, as far as like what I was telling you guys earlier, like you guys within itself, as you guys are the new day and age joyeros, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like you guys are trying to dibble and dabble on something different, other things too, right? Is that one of those things too? The bags, maybe designing those and getting those together, or what?
So the one thing that we do really well is jewelry essentials, right? When it comes to everyday essentials that men and women can wear, whether it's a pair of studs, bracelet, necklaces, and the reason why we focus on essentials is because we want our pieces to be your everyday pieces, your go-to pieces. Like I can't live without my bracelet, I can't live without my earrings, or
Right.
the expression a lot of ladies say is like I feel so naked without my diamond studs or hoops or something along those lines. Like for gentlemen, it's like, bro, I'm not me without my chain.
A chain.
Right.
You see what I'm
There's a
saying?
dog
So it's
collar
like-
right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like for us, like that's dope, right? And for us, that is everything. When something that we made or something that came out of our store holds such power,
Value.
such value in your everyday wear, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
like the ultimate homage. Like, yo, these guys made it happen. Salute to
Right.
these guys.
What's your best seller?
Engagement rings. In all honesty, engagement rings is what we sell the most.
And what do your average engagement rings range from? Like price sale?
Now they range, huge, and it's right now the average engagement ring can cost anywhere between $2,500 to about $4,500. Now, if we're talking 6 years ago, the average engagement ring started at about $6,500 to $10,000, and then the most engagement ring we've ever sold was $250,000.
And you guys sold one of those.
Yeah, and it was very similar to one of the rings that we brought.
Which one? Which one is that? That
it
big
was-
joint right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
That big joint right there. I just had that on.
Yeah. Sure.
Hey, let me
Pass it
see. I
around-
like that
pass it around
joint.
the table. Yeah,
I
that's
like
that's
that
an
joint.
8-carat center stone emerald.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that is-
You try it
that's
on. You try it
huge.
on. You try it on.
So we've got to see our fair share of large budgets, everyday budgets.
Slow down, girlie. Slow down. No,
But yeah,
okay.
we our primary focus is catering to the average Joe, the working
So
man.
for the viewers looking out there, like you know what I'm saying, you don't have to be rich to come shop with you guys.
Absolutely
though.
not.
Okay, so you
You
guys
know-
got it, something to accommodate everybody.
Yeah,
in there.
we like to feel, and we like our guests to feel like they're getting something extremely luxurious.
Right.
And based on his perception of the jewelry store and like, gathering people's like perspectives on what our Instagram social media looks like. We understand that we have an expensive looking brand, but it really isn't. All you just got to do is come in and ask the right questions. We're always in the corner of the people.
Right.
There's people that say that. There's jewelers that say they're for the people. We really are for the people.
And I can vouch for
That's
that.
what
I can
makes
vouch
you
for
stand
that.
out.
I've been there. I've been there. I've seen you guys.
We've sold
Seen you
stuff
guys.
that Mr. Adrian sometimes doesn't agree with, like as far as price points, and and it's always like, yo, we want to make this happen,
Right.
and it is what it is.
Adrian's the more tough guy.
Bro, I've
Good
You,
cop,
you
bad
sent
cop.
him in there. You
Yeah.
sent him in. I know you sent him in there yesterday. You sent him in there yesterday.
Dude. So you are one
living
of
testament.
the few people that has got to like navigate the building with us.
Right.
Right.
Because we was upstairs acting crazy.
You got
yesterday.
to meet the infamous Bo Jackson. We call him Bo Jackson.
What, the
And-
guy upstairs?
Yeah. So
Oh,
the guy that
okay.
you met yesterday with
Oh, they
the
were
gold
pretty
chains.
cool. Yeah, they were pretty
Yeah.
cool. They had a million chains up
They
there.
had a
I
lot.
shit you not,
It's a
they had
lot.
a million chains
It's a
up
lot, and when you think of the jewelry industry, whether you're shopping for engagement rings or chains, when you walk into a store like that, number one, they're not going to be as accommodating.
Right.
Number two, if you don't have a wholesale license, they're not going to let you in. Right? You
Right.
came in with him. That's the only reason why you were even allowed it. And it's
Oh, so they don't sell the where we were upstairs. They don't sell.
no. Like,
So they would. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It's wild. Like, I don't know if you saw it. The dude had like signs that say wholesale only. No
I didn't see that because I was walking in with him.
Yeah.
But dude, I was just like, at first when I looked at him, I was like, "Are these real?" Because he had so many. He had
wall.
so many.
It's a
He had
wall.
a wall of so many like chains. It was like
yeah.
he's like, "Which one you want? 24, 32? Like he was just go. I'm like,
That's an accurate depiction too.
"Hey, for real, wasn't it?" Like I was like, 24, 32.
Yeah,
He was just going.
Literally, it's like a waterfall of gold, right? Like
Right.
it's he has so much that it's easy to feel overwhelmed,
Right.
Right. So, like as wholesalers, for us, we walk into these different stores that offer whether it's gold chains or like bits and pieces of rings that you need to assemble. It's like walking into like IKEA for jewelers,
Right.
Right. You're just kind of like building out your room,
Which is dope, yeah.
You're building out whatever project it is that you want, and that's why it's like we've been in that building for so long because that's ground zero. Whether you're a jeweler in the state of Illinois, it doesn't matter where you are, you have to come down to the building for
Right.
something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys get any type of like friction by other like jewelers?
Like
Stuff?
competing
Like
businesses.
competing?
I'm gonna pull a Ryan Reynolds. What have you heard?
Man.
I don't. Do you want to touch on that? You want me to?
Can you repeat the question?
Don't worry about it. We'll skip it. We'll skip it.
I would
no
like
skip,
to
no
know.
skip, no
Let's
Like,
skip.
do
Don't
they-
skip. Ooh, Adrian liked the drama. He liked the drama.
Do those types of businesses give you shit? You know what I mean?
No, like for honestly, like it's just like for the viewers and everybody.
Yeah.
Like as far as like there's competition everywhere.
Absolutely.
But I mean, how rough is the jewelry
industry,
industry,
period.
dude? Like you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, all bullshit aside, like
Yeah.
you guys are like the youngest jewelers that I've known. Like
I would say
you know what I'm saying? That I know.
Yeah, it's us and maybe like
I mean,
two or three other
the ones
people.
that I met, like you guys
Yeah.
are the youngest ones that I've
Yeah,
met.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like, if anybody gonna keep it real, we're gonna keep it real. So
Yeah,
that's my whole point. Like,
we keep it
we're,
real on the pod.
you don't gotta put no names out there. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. In all due respect, and with all due respect to the industry, it is a very cutthroat industry.
Okay.
And we have had our fair share of run-ins, and it's, if you're familiar with the dope game, if you're familiar with
Right.
just like the street culture, these guys are playing the same game, but in a different industry.
Just
they
in
play
a
by their
different
own
industry.
set of rules.
So it is almost like that that movie with
Adam Sandler,
Adam Sandler. What is it called?
Uncut
Oh,
Gems.
I know.
Uncut
Yeah,
Gems.
I watched
So it's
that.
almost like that, almost.
It can be.
It can- it can get like that.
It can, yeah.
It can get like that,
it's-
okay.
So when you fuck up in the jewelry game, you fuck up big time, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, I come from a family restaurant, so like food and beverage industry background.
Shout
So
out
it's
your
like-
restaurant. What's the restaurant? The family.
So our family restaurant's called Los
Los
Comales.
Comales. And if you from
So-
Chicago, you know exactly what Los
yeah,
Comales
so
is.
our family owns Los Comales, and it's like you fuck up someone's taco, That's like $1.50, $2.
Right. You fuck
$2.50.
with somebody's chain though. That might be a couple thousands.
You know what I'm saying? It can be very costly. Not only that, the people involved in building this product, right? So it's like now you have to go back to the refinery. So the person that helped you cast this gold, the person that you got gold from,
Everybody.
you're going down that
Labor
assembly
cost,
line.
everything behind
Oh, man.
everybody.
You'll be upside down so quick.
quick, fast.
Like,
so it's
real
like,
fast.
So how much money, like coming in, like you guys lost a lot of money.
In the last, I would say 2024, I lost almost $250,000.
Okay.
And it wasn't because of my own mistakes, and
Other
I
people's.
and I don't want to blame other people, but it was
What
just
you got? What you got to?
it was just bad luck.
What you got
I
to?
guess it was just bad luck.
No, I
you
mean
know?
it'd be like that though.
Yeah.
Sometimes because 9
It's a
times out of 10,
gamble.
as a business owner,
Yeah.
the costly mistakes somebody else did them.
You know what?
And
Sometimes
it'd be like that. You know it'd be like
sometimes.
that.
You know,
Well-
and it's like you always want to take accountability, right?
Right, of
Because
course.
it's like,
As a business owner, we're trained to be like, it's me. I'm gonna take care of it, and this what we're
people
gonna do.
can fuck up within your company, and it's like, can you
We
swear?
still gotta make it. We still gotta swallow it.
Can we swear in the podcast?
Yeah, you can say shit. Say whatever. We're gonna bleep it out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can like,
Shit, buddy.
yeah, people will, you know, they never look at like, let's say Adrian. Okay, Adrian made a mistake. They don't care that he made a mistake. They're like,
Jonathan made a mistake.
you're responsible.
Casemina made a
Yeah.
mistake as a whole.
Exactly.
Casemina made a mistake as a whole. So
Yeah,
I get it.
absolutely.
I
So,
totally understand it.
It's one of those things where, you know, you've had to just kind of take it on the chin, and you're like, it is what it is.
So as a viewer trying to just come up, obviously, like some of the advice is basically as a business owner, you got to lose to win.
Yeah, man, it's a big risk, you know, and it's one of those things where, like, in our game, it's you gamble big, but you also win big.
But you win
Right.
big. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you gamble big and you also lose big.
Lose big
You know,
sometimes.
it just,
Yeah.
you just kind
It's
of
just which day it is today. We're gonna see what day it is today. You know,
Every
We got
dog
it.
has his day.
You know it.
That's what they say.
You know it. But I mean, does the good outweigh the bad?
Absolutely.
Okay,
1000%.
that's all that matters.
1000%. But when it
All that
rains,
matters.
it pours.
It pours.
Yeah, it's tough. I think you know,
Why not?
as an entrepreneur, 2024 was definitely the most challenging year. Even though so many great things happened within our business and for our business, right? Collaborations, runways, you know, being involved in like Adrian talked, New York Fashion Week. It's something that people are extremely proud of. It's something that people wear like a chip on their shoulder, and it's like they want to push that. Like we were the only jeweler in Chicago that got
the
to
runway?
that got to display, on
And
the
Latinos at that.
Yeah, on the
see.
biggest Fashion Week platform,
Congratulations.
Congratulations, my brothers.
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
But it's like
Congratulations.
so much bad happened.
But see, sometimes you can't enjoy the good without the bad.
Right.
Like you can't enjoy it. It just makes the good so much better sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
So,
saying?
in the
you know,
moment though, bro, it was just like
In the moment, it'd be so fucking crazy. Well, believe me, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy because people looking from the outside in, and I'm a living testimony of that. They'd be like, "Hey, yeah, you know, you must be great. You're going,"
Right.
but you don't realize what all the shit I went through. Like I went through hell and back right now to get here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
that is very true.
You know what I'm saying? I was crying by myself in the car, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I get
you
you,
know
bro.
what? There was a situation. This was where like I tell people all the time. You know, when it comes to Adrian, you know, there's never a dollar amount that I can repay him for his loyalty.
And that's
That's him. That's Novella Papi's.
Novella Papi.
That boy.
Okay. See, he's embracing it now. That's what's up. That's all we was waiting on.
know.
And we're gonna wait on this freestyle at the end of the show.
Stay tuned.
We had this situation last year
tuned,
where you know, we had to show up for something, and it was one of those things where I'm like, damn, you know, I'm facing this challenge by myself. You know, I don't, you know, and it's like 50 Cent says in an interview, like, who I'm gonna run to? I'm gonna go home to get
That's
me.
it, right?
You know, like you
I
gotta,
gotta
face
make
your
it
problems,
happen.
you know,
Yeah,
as a
I
man,
get
and
it.
it is what it is. And you know, on that day, this dude called me in the morning. He was like, "Yo, don't sweat it. Everything's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be right there." I
Yeah,
pulled up
and that's
to
all
where
you
I
need
had-
sometimes.
Yep.
And he
That's all
was
you need
there.
sometimes.
And it's suit.
But that's what I'm saying. And it's with a Stacey Adams on. With a Stacey Adams on, dog. You the
suit
most
is
loyal
retired.
Stacey Adams wearing dude ever.
Bro, you know, you know what, but you know,
No, but
I kind
all
of feel
bullshit
like it,
aside, though, I know I honestly like people like you are, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but people like you are hard to come across. Especially like in business, like that's why, and I know this like firsthand because I got a few of those in my team where it's like, you know what I'm saying, when you get somebody like that, like, you know what I'm saying, it's like the red carpet's read out,
Right.
for you, because it's like, you are hard to come across. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I came from the streets, and it was like a lot of the loyalty was given to the wrong
Right.
individuals. You
No,
understand what I'm
that's
saying?
facts.
So it's like just to come get individuals like you to come across and be, you know what I'm saying? You deserve everything you get. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
like
yeah,
as
for
far
sure.
as like company wise, you deserve everything you get. My
For
dude.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and it's like,
and that's the thing, bro. Like me and John will butt heads on a lot of stuff, especially like just how
Supposed
he
to.
mentioned.
You're supposed
No,
to.
for sure.
You're supposed to.
Just how he mentioned, with like sometimes the pricing, bro. I'm pretty sure like 2 days ago I was fucking talking his ear off, dude. So talking his fucking ear off, bro. But I mean, it's
and it's usually the opposite of the way around.
Bro,
You
but
want the
it's-
bag, dog. You want the
it's
bag. I
not even-
know.
it's not
I know
even
how you
about-
brought me into that office yesterday. I know for sure you was
Cornered
been
you,
there.
cornered
Oh
you.
yeah, you were in his office.
Yeah,
right?
boy, I'm trying to tell you,
bro.
he was a vulture. I said, okay. I said, I'm sorry. I gotta talk to Jonathan, bro. I gotta talk to Jonathan.
No, but it comes from a good place, bro. Because and this is something that him and I say to each other frequently. It's like I'm just trying to see you win. Whether
I get it.
you know,
I get it. Hell
whether,
yeah.
whether it ends up being,
Because when he wins, you win.
rings, it's not even about that though, bro. Because I genuinely care for this guy.
That's your
genuinely
boy.
care for
Okay.
him. This is my guy. This is my brother. I mean, shit. I'll text him, yo, how are the kids? He'll text me, how are the kids?
Right,
How's
right.
everything?
Because
We check on
it's
each
above
other.
that. It's above
yeah,
that.
it's
I get you.
above jewelry, and even there was a point in time where, like from the transition from Wolf of Madison to Casamina, I wasn't working for him anymore because of reasons
other things.
that don't need to be spoken about. But when Casamina kind of got its footing, and we had a conversation about me coming back. I had told him like, bro, it's not about like these small wins. Like I'm looking forward
the
to
long
bigger
term.
picture shit. Like I'm looking towards them fucking corner offices on like the 76th
No,
floor
hell
of
yeah.
a fucking
Yeah.
high rise. It's not about the smaller stuff now. I'm trying to work towards something bigger, bro. And even if I wasn't a part of it, I've been telling him, same thing. Excuse me, same thing he's been telling me. It's like I'm just trying to see you win, bro. That's it.
And that's genuine, my boy.
That's
genuine.
genuine, bro.
And honestly,
That's genuine.
for the viewers, honestly, surround yourself around people like this.
Facts.
You know why? Because as business owner, and I'm gonna tell you like this, I got people that she's sitting there recording me right now. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That's my PR. But that I got people just like that in my corner where I value I lessen value my work.
Right.
And we got genuine people around us that tell us like, no, dude. Go and charge them that price because you're
Right.
valued at that
Right.
price. And you know what I'm saying? You need genuine people like that
Right, but-
around you that'll show you, that'll give you your worth.
No, but even to go with that, bro. I mean, and there's been plenty of times like we'll talk our shit in the office. Obviously, that confidence, right? It's always going
Right.
to be there. But one thing that I feel like I've been able to do with John and trying to like, I guess still build just on everything is, and I've told him like, bro, I will never be a yes man to you ever.
Right.
Because
You can't,
like, that-
'cause that you're
and
not-
I would
you're
never
not trained for that.
I would never expect you to be that to me. If I fuck up, call me out on it. We might butt heads afterwards
right,
or about it or whatever.
But that's
but
what you want around
it's
you.
right. It's about holding each other
at that,
accountable.
At that
bro.
grown level, like
Exactly,
you don't
bro.
need that.
Exactly. Like if we can't talk, if we can't have a heated discussion, but then at the end of the day, I'll,
We still
I'll
family.
see you
We still
tomorrow.
that. You know what I'm saying? We still
then,
that.
Then what the fuck are we doing?
And if you can't correct me while I'm here,
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying, what I need you around.
Right,
for.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
This my thing is like you say, like some people will fucking watch you fucking throw yourself off a cliff and won't say nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? No. But you need people like that. Because at the end of the day, it's like, as business owners, sometimes that shit gets to you. It does. And you just start making some dumbass decisions. You start, you know what I'm saying? Shit starts getting to you, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you need people to fucking pull you back and grab your pole.
For
Like,
sure.
You're
for
fucking
sure.
tripping. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying?
And I mean,
You're tripping.
that's, again, accountability and kind of keeping each other grounded. I think that's what's going to, elevate all of this. Obviously, John has gotten to where he is right now. He's done a hell of a fucking
Right.
job. But it's like also, again,
But that's scaled up. That's
that
scaled up.
accountability, right? And it's going to go further.
Right, it's gonna
There's
get there.
no doubt in my mind that this is going to go further, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be more collaborations. There's going to be more fashion weeks. There's going to be different runways. There's going to be other countries.
Right, hell yeah.
But like what he's done now, it's fucking amazing. It's great. Like I've had multiple conversations where like people who don't know that I work with him have brought up, Casamina. And I don't know if I've told you about that. No. Like him personally, the company personally, it gets mentioned, right? So everything that he's been able to do up until now, it's fucking amazing.
Right.
But that accountability, keeping each other grounded,
Right,
humble
exactly.
within each other, like that's what's gonna elevate that
Can I
shit.
tell you something though?
What's up?
You gotta take credit of that too. Because you know why?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
have
Because
to.
I got people that work for me like that are just so humble, like you.
Yep.
Like, and that's 100. I'm tipping my hat to you because it's so humble that you like. It's but you got to take credit of that because
David,
it's like
David, we gotta
and no
make 'em cry.
I with a team like man, it's a team, my boy. And I see honestly when I met you guys, I met you first
Yeah.
for his company.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
So
yeah,
it's
for
just
sure,
like
for sure.
it's just you got to take credit on that. Why? Because I've seen y'all relationships, so you got to take credit on that because my man's works for you the same way I work with my people.
Right,
So it's
right,
just
right.
like you know what I'm saying. It's a team. Like you know what I'm saying. Yeah, he started it, but you know what I'm saying. You guys are growing it together. So it's like you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta. Talk your shit, big
Yeah.
dog.
I
Talk
mean,
like I
your
said,
shit, big
no,
dog.
for-
Bro, if we're in the office, I'm talking all my shit.
Oh,
so-
but you humble as hell in the podcast today, huh?
Yeah, he
You
being
humble
chill.
as hell. He don't want to rap.
No.
He don't want to do none of that, man.
No
He's
bars, no
he's-
bars.
he's
Today. I'll
chilling
send you.
today.
I'll Dropbox you some shit later.
Yeah, but in all honesty, like a lot of the collaborations and a lot of the fun projects that we have gotten to do are because of Adrian, and he's always kind of like thinking outside of the box. I'm more of a workhorse, so I'm like, I get to work, do what I got to do, move on with the day.
Right.
If something like a little side quest comes up during the day, like I'll be the one to take charge and do it, but he'll be the one like, yo, who I notice is really popping off? X, Y, and Z. We should get a hold of them.
That's how we met.
That's
That's
how
how
we
we
met.
met. Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and it was like
he's the leading man behind all those special projects.
that's what's up, and you need that. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly, it's like you're only as good as your team that you surround yourself with. All bullshit aside, like you know what I'm saying. And that's for everybody that you guys are here. That's a big thing. Once you can't do it all by yourself.
Yep.
You can't do it all by yourself. You need a team to make it grow.
I think what kind of
Okay.
plays into it though is for the fact that we are both, family men. We're both fathers. We're both married.
Right.
So it's like we understand what it takes.
I get it.
It takes a village. And
Right.
right now it's a 2-person village, but
two-person village.
that village is fucking holding shit down.
No, I get it, and
Yeah,
I understand you
facts.
surround yourself around good people because we didn't have Friday afternoons where we just talking shit over there, and you know what I'm saying. But it's just like real shit. It's like you need people to really like I could tell you something and it inspires you, like the vice versa. Like y'all we talk some shit and it's like it inspires you because it's like it don't matter on the field. We're still battling the same battle. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
No, that's for sure.
And that's what's up, though. That's
for sure.
what's up, dog. That's definitely what's up.
And because y'all have such a strong partnership, what kind of expectations do you have for other people who are trying to be a part of your team?
That expectation is it's
high.
It's up there.
Yeah,
it is
it's high.
definitely up
And
there.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been in y'all office. Y'all only there's only one lady in there.
Yeah, and she don't come out of her office.
She don't come out of her
She don't come out of her
She
office.
don't come out of her office, dude.
Yeah,
It's
she
only
stay in
y'all
there.
two, y'all.
And she don't say hi.
She don't at all. She
don't
just
acknowledge
slides right by
nobody.
you, like, hey,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Yeah,
You know?
Erin. Shout out to Erin. She's cool.
Hey, no, she's cool because she actually did tell me hi after a while. After
Yeah,
she
yeah.
seen me a couple times, she was like,
she's cool
Hey, how
people.
you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
After she seen me, she was like, all right.
But the expectations are definitely high for sure, and I think those expectations are high because we know what we expect out of each other, right? Where like we're gonna go into the office. There might be some time where it's somebody comes in, whether it's just to kind of look around, chop it up, whatever, look at some jewelry. So we're gonna sit there, we'll bullshit, but we know also that we are both like we're work driven, right?
Right.
We are work
and it's
driven.
like I don't expect nothing else. Like,
Right.
if you guys are running, it's like you
Right.
guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, why
Yeah,
why
hungry.
bring some
No,
right?
yeah,
Why
for
bring
sure.
someone else that's not from the run? Like,
Right.
Yeah,
But-
there's been times where like we've had trials with people, and it's like, yo, they'll ask, "What time is lunch?" Like lunch is when you get a free
Focused on the
moment.
wrong thing.
Right.
Yeah, like yo,
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
Adrian
you're
is-
selling jewelry. What the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck? Like,
Not only that,
Bro, like-
we tell people all the time, like, don't get it twisted. Just because we work in a luxurious industry doesn't mean that everything
it's
there.
luxurious, bro.
Yeah,
It's
it's
shit.
like, yo, it's
Still 9 to 5. What's wrong
you
with
gotta
you?
put on, you gotta put in the time, and it's like, we're giving you the spear, and you have to go out there and hunt, and if you come back empty-handed, that's on you.
Right, that's something,
You
man.
know what I mean? We're telling you where to go. We're telling you what to look for. We're giving you all the cues for you to succeed. And if you don't do it, that's on you.
Right.
We can't feed you all the time.
No, of
You know,
course, of
so
course.
it's like there's days where we'll hang out for a few hours, kind of like usually in the morning. Like we're in the morning, like it's a slow morning from 10 to 11. We'll just kind of go over emails, talk about like, hey, how was your day yesterday? Like what's going on? Like did you grab coffee already? As soon as 12 o'clock hits, it's like, yo,
Let's go.
we're
Snap
going.
in.
Yeah.
Snap in.
We're
But see,
locked
it's
in.
like once you have that that chemistry is like ain't nothing to talk. We already know what time it is, and it's like, I'm telling you, I got a few employees that are we're good like that. Where it's like we gonna kick it, we gonna chill, we gonna talk some shit. As soon as it's time to go, it's time to go. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, both of you guys are some genuine individuals. That's why I've surrounded myself around you guys. You know what I'm saying? We collabed, we all that.
Absolutely.
I brought you guys here honestly because I wanted to let the world know who you guys were. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you guys are real, genuine guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not just saying that because we're here, but I'm real shit. Like Carmen knows, like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my PR Carmen. She's on camera.
Shout out Carmen.
But shout out Carmen. She's got our interview. She's steady running from the interview, but she'll be here soon. She's steady running from the interview. She always just want to record people, but
Carmen with a freestyle. Carmen
we
with a
go
freestyle.
and she gonna freestyle. She used to pop, lock, and drop it. The shit. You know what I'm saying? No, but you guys are some genuine. She introduced me to you guys. Well, she actually just put me in the radar because, like I said, Adrian was a big part of a lot of collab. Like you said, you gave him his because Adrian was the one that really first reached out, and it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was you guys are some real genuine individuals. So that's the reason why I wanted to get y'all story out there because it's like you guys are a dope ass jewelry store.
Thank you, bro.
Honestly, that a dope ass jewelry store. Honestly, that is like, dude, and honestly, all bullshit aside, I don't even want to tell people like that because it's just like I don't even want to mess up the vibe like that. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
And that, I think that's something like, you hit on a great topic, right? Like gatekeeping the community and
I'm not gatekeeping, but I'm just like, dude, like, you know what I'm saying?
You don't want to
not everybody want to be there. Not every
You know what I mean?
you can't afford to have everybody over there, man. You tripping,
You know,
dude.
and it's I
you
think
tripping. They got security guards in the front, dog. You can't.
I think that's something that we've definitely not struggled with, but it's been something that we've had to learn to embrace, right? Like we know we're a lot of people's like secret weapon. So it's like, okay, cool. You know, X, Y, and Z failed. I'm gonna call the Wolf. I'm gonna call Adrian. And it's
The
like,
Mina.
yeah, you know,
The
we're gonna make
Casamina.
that phone call,
Yeah,
and
right.
you know, X, Y, and Z is gonna happen. And
Right.
you know, we've had it happen. We're like, you know, I'll take a phone call and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, when do you need this? I need this done in like a few days.
Okay,
Bro, why?
let's make it happen.
Why are you doing this to me?
But I'm gonna take the challenge. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna take the challenge. We're gonna
And
make it
that's
happen.
where you know, my competitive nature kicks in.
Right,
It's
you know
like,
it. You know it. That's the hustler in you.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
know,
hustler in you.
I
man.
can't say
We're
no.
gonna make it happen
You know,
right now.
and, you know, Adrian's looked at me like, bro,
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
I know you married. Your
Yeah.
wife fight you against that?
all the time.
Yeah, because
24/7.
they fight me all the time. Like,
24/7.
why do you do this to yourself?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
You're stressing
because
out.
I love this shit. Because I love this shit.
You
man.
haven't slept. I'm like, nah, it's cool.
Because I love this shit, man.
We love the grind. You know,
Yeah.
we love
But
the
it's true. Like honestly, it's like it only like you got to be made for this. Like you really got to be made for this. Like
ain't a
like
lot
just the entrepreneurs.
Hey.
Like you got to be be wired for that, dog.
let me bring it-
Let me pop my collar.
Yeah, hold on, hold on. He's about to talk his shit. He's about to talk his
Go
shit.
ahead. Let me pop my collar with you,
I
dog.
tell you what, brother.
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. Let's talk that
Ain't a
shit.
lot of people built like us. Ain't a lot
Exactly.
of people built for
You know what I'm
this,
saying?
You know,
We go to sleep at 12. We waking up at 4. We getting
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah.
Let's get it in. You know,
Wow, bro.
that's real shit because that's what I'm living right now. So it's just like it's crazy.
Oh, there's
real.
been plenty of times where he'll text me or I'll text him. It'll be 2:30 in the morning. Yo, you up? Okay, I got an idea.
What's up?
Like shit. Let's
What's
go.
up?
Let's
Run it through.
with
Run it through.
Let's
Run it
with
through.
It's real, man.
Like
It's not-
Jayla my little hustler too. She a hustler too. She a
believe it.
hustler. She a
I
hustler
believe
too.
it. She been real quiet
She a
lately,
hustler.
but I know
She
she
be
a
quiet,
killer.
but look. Honestly, all bullshit aside, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I done seen her like, where you going? Work. Okay, let's do it. Let's work.
Yeah.
She see me, where you
That
going?
gets to
Work.
it.
Let's go. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to it. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? It is like you guys are the example of new day and age hustlers. And that's and
a great way to
I
put
tip
it.
my hat to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Yeah, thank you,
I
thank
tip
you.
my hat to you guys. And then before we get out of here, right? This is a podcast for entrepreneurs. And you guys are both genuine dudes hustling.
Yeah.
And look, hustlers respect hustlers. So we here. So what is a message that you guys have for viewers that are looking at you guys right now and you know something that you can leave somebody with as far as like we all hustling the same way, but we got different stories. So obviously you learned a lot more. I'm still learning I learn from individuals like you. You know what I'm saying? As myself. So it's like what can you leave somebody with right now?
Go ahead.
Can I break that question?
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. That's why I like you. You see that? You
Because
see?
you know, like we have a lot of
Let's get
male
it.
viewers. But what about? Let's not forget about the women.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely,
Okay, baby.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
Carmen don't want to get on the show, but all right, go ahead.
can you leave our women viewers like some advice about the jewelry industry? Because it seems like a very male dominated industry.
Is there any women in it?
There is.
It's-
Oh,
There
yeah,
is?
there's some heaters in that building.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Really?
there was that
See,
old
okay.
girl that we went to the chain. She's a jeweler too, right? When we went to go see all them chains.
He talking about Miss Nikki.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
she,
and she's
she was
young.
with it. She was
Yeah.
like 24, 25,
Yeah, she know.
32. She was with it.
Well, so I
She
mean,
was
to,
full
kind
throttle.
of go with the
Yeah.
male-dominated field, one of the young ladies that works in one of the offices of one of the suppliers that we work with. I mean, she's what 20 maybe,
She's young,
but she's
yeah.
like the first one at the door. She's ready to make a sale, so she's definitely about it for sure.
I would go as far to say, for all the young lady listeners, don't undervalue yourself. And the reason why that is I've had my fair share of hired guns, and if you're in business, you know what that means. And my top sales reps
We're women. Dude. Let me just second something on that. As a business owner myself, dude, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I've had women. I got women and I got men in my team, but I'm gonna tell you like this. A lot of, and I'm not taking nothing away from the guys. So don't look at me different, but
yeah.
I'm not taking away from
It's a different game.
But all the women that work for me, like my employers, are super responsible, on time, super hustlers, like super hustlers. Surprised me where I'm like, okay, mind you. Jayla, super hustler. While she's sitting there acting like she's humble, but she's a super hustler. You know what I'm saying? Super hustler. So it's just like, I tip my hat to a lot of these women. A lot of these women. Not only that, Carmen San Diego, Carmen San Diego, another hustler right there. Another hustler opening doors day in and day out. I'm gonna tell you like this, I built my business, but that girl took it to the next level. So I'm always gonna be
Carmen.
grateful.
Shout
Shout out Carmen, CMG Media. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? So that this start. I got powerful women that work for me. So we good, man. I'm forever gonna be grateful for them.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, your question, right? I know you answered it. You said don't undervalue yourself. I guess kind of to just piggyback off of that, just don't be timid. Don't let anybody kind of scare you out of that field, scare you out of the building, run you out of it. You have to stand your ground. You have to. You have to stand on your 10 toes down. You have to do it, because if you don't, somebody else that has somebody else will. Somebody else definitely 100% will, because you didn't have that, that tenacity. You didn't have that drive. You didn't have that hunger. You have to do it.
You a big dog. You a big dog. You
what's
graduated
up.
high
Yeah.
school. You heard it?
No, low key. I swear to God, at some point I started reading the dictionary. I'd read a page every day.
Were you rapping before?
Come on.
Hey, look. But hey, before we leave though, we go get the. We can't rap battle.
Oh no.
No, we ain't rap. All right, cool.
You trying to get a cipher going?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
Nah, that's
let's
my
get it going.
boy. Though, shout out Adrian, though. I'm talking shit, though.
I'm
That's
telling you,
my
I'll
boy.
Dropbox you some shit later.
All
I
right,
got you. Don't worry
cool.
about it.
Hey, you know I'm finna find out your rap day.
That's fine. That's fine.
Matter of fact, viewers, y'all know him. Y'all know his rap name.
Yeah, if somebody from back in the day knows me from high school,
Dropbox,
go ahead
baby.
and
go ahead and put
spam
it in
the
the
messages.
comments.
Please do.
Put it in the comments, please.
do,
Put
man.
his
Please
rap
do.
name, because we don't know it. And his man's is loyal. He ain't want to say it. He ain't want to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, he knows it, because he looked at you like, boy, I would tell everybody right now.
Fucked up by telling them. God damn. No, but yeah, if somebody knows it, if somebody
knows it, put it in the comments. Put it in the
go
comments.
ahead. They're gonna tell
And
you
they
too.
said
I
you
had
was
some
nice.
fire.
And they said you was nice.
Come on.
You ready to talk that shit? I like that. I like that. You ready?
He's got a crazy story.
What kind of story? We was trying to get the story.
He done stole a show one time at a.
Whose show?
Would you say it was a?
Come on.
He's like,
He's
he's
like,
feeling the beat.
come on, bro.
Was it a talent show? Yeah, it was a
Yo,
talent show.
low key, we like damn near stormed the stage at Morton College one time because they were doing, and it was only for like students and people that, obviously students that attended the school.
Yeah.
We bullshitted our way onto the stage. It was me and I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 of my other.
What, you had a group or something? Or just people that rap
Yeah, it
with
was
you?
just like we kind of all just made music together.
Okay.
Bro, dead ass just fucking went up on stage and it was just like, all right, yo, who the fuck is this? Where's your student
Let's
ID?
do
I was
it.
like, yo,
Super
look over
hip-hop.
there and fucking.
Right.
And y'all were crazy.
Yeah, they
But you don't
performed.
want to cipher for us. It's cool, bro.
Nah,
maybe
man,
on
I'm
the
not
next show, maybe on the next episode, we'll get you on a cipher.
I mean, yeah, if we do part 2 of the podcast, we'll definitely.
For sure.
You heard him. You heard him. So the next, and we got this man right here at this
It's like,
table.
damn. It's
on
We
record.
cipher. We're doing a rap battle because I rap too. I
low-key,
rap
I'll-
sandwiches, dog. Y'all will see me. I rap sandwiches.
I rap engagement rooms. We're all with it, man. We're with it.
Man.
All right, 10:40. So we're good.
We wrapping it up?
Yeah, we wrapping it up, big man.
All right,
man,
it's
this has been a great episode. It's been a pleasure to
guys.
have you guys
Thank you
here.
for having us.
For real, for real.
Appreciate
It's
it.
been a pleasure to have you guys here. We see your amazing jewelry. Psst, y'all see this joint?
Yeah,
Y'all
that's
see
my
it?
favorite one.
Oh, y'all see this joint? But look, before we leave, where can they find you? Where, if somebody, our viewers, where can they go get some of the jewelry at?
You can find us on social media. So our official Instagram is Casamino Official, and if you
Casamino
wanna,
Official, right?
Yep, on
Okay.
Instagram. If you
.com.
wanna, that's casaminajewelry.net. If you want to find us online,
CasaminaJewelry.net. Okay,
.net,
cool.
Yeah, our .com got hacked, but that's another story.
Oh, the
Yeah,
.com got
that's a
hacked?
story for the part 2 of the podcast.
Ooh, we might get this part 2 of
There's
the
like
pod.
real drama behind.
You know
all
something
the
though?
audio.
You know, we should definitely, once we get the piece over here,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
we should definitely put the part 2 up here.
Oh, we definitely can.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
all right, cool.
We'll present it on air.
Okay, let's do it. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. We're gonna record it. We're gonna put it out here. We're gonna put our. Hey, Carmen, you coming?
I'm gonna be there.
Matter of fact, come over here, Carmen. Come over here, Carmen.
Get on
Come
cam.
over here, Carmen.
Come on, get on
Real
cam.
quick, Carmen.
Yeah.
Come over here, Carmen. Look, that's Carmen. That's Carmen
there
San
you
Diego
go.
right here. That's Carmen, CFG Media. Hey, you coming?
Listen, y'all better release that shit in front of our camera.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
come
do
on,
it.
come on,
I mean,
come
a
on.
dope drip collab. But
Let's do it.
It's gonna
y'all
be
make
fire.
that shit happen.
Yeah, it's
So,
gonna be
You
fire.
know we gonna showcase that.
Let's do it. You know
it's
it.
a collaborative effort.
Okay, what's up?
Low key though, we got to get Jayla iced out.
Oh, you know,
Hey,
You gotta-
Jada Media, let's do it.
Show me a little something on the side. It's gonna look
Oh, yeah.
so-
Okay.
I'm flattered.
Hey, but no, we appreciate you guys being here.
you for having
Thank
us,
you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. And remember, look, this is the Dope Talk where the talk is always real. Y'all tune in, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's do it.